Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora and what's happening on the African continent. If you're joining us for the first time, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe to my YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topics in the comment section below this audio podcast. Help make our audio podcast and our video podcast go viral by sharing my YouTube page with all of your friends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and or X, and any other social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling and will help get us more exposure. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Again, the way I try to do things is like on my Medium transcript, I have articles that people can read. And also I have videos in case for those that don't really like to read much. So basically, I try to reach people where they're at. Help Stop the Genocide in the American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium transcript, where you can follow along during the podcast. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. I use my platform to share with people who are on my social media pages. I encourage Black artists, as well as African artists, such as authors, poets, musicians, and Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, to make arrangements with me to come on this platform. So that way you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then you're more than welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. I want to make sure that you know how to use StreamYard or Zoom. If you do not know how to use that, then make arrangements with me, and I'm willing to teach you how to do that, so that way you can come on this platform. And again, if you're serious, I need for you all to send me your email address. Some people don't want to do that, then I don't let them come on this on my show. That's all I ask. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix website. So that way they can launch their own online business or online ministry to the global community. Now, I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this point, this is where I'm at. I'm unable to hire anyone because I'm not making any money from my book sale or from items from my virtual store. And that's real talk. I created this platform in order to broadcast my vision and plan across the United States of America to like-minded Black Americans who identify as DAS/FM, which stands for Descendants of American Slaves/Freedmen. I also would like to connect with like-minded African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria, in order for us to help speed up the process. Because I've been reaching out to Black Chicagoans for the past 34 years, and I'm still on first base, and that's unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. And so this is why I created this platform, and I'm just doing the best that I can. And that's how come I'm documenting everything. It's all here. Back in the 90s, when I was first started doing this stuff, I wasn't able to, you know, uh, I would say expose, all the stuff I do, but now I am. So there's no excuse whatsoever. Again, I encourage all of my listeners worldwide, because I have a global community, connect with people all over around the globe. But especially those that's my global African family. Please read my story, quote, "The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition." It's available on Amazon, and I provide the link in the comment section below this audio podcast. It's available in two forms: as an ebook for $9.99. Also, it's available as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. Please help me get my book on that bestsellers list, so that way the Black world can take our cause serious. And also so that I can be in a better position financially, so that I can hire Black people, African people, and others. I want my advisory board or resource team to be in place, so that way I'm not doing all this stuff by myself. This is why it's taking so doggone long. But again, my goal is to have my advisory board or resource team intact. I want those persons that's going to be on my advisory board to have an associate's degree or above. I want Black attorneys, African attorneys, investors, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. And I want those persons, if they're serious, they have to read my story too. Everybody have to read my story and have to be in agreement. This business is going to be membership based. Those that's not interested in being a part of us, we pray for them. We show them tough love. We keep it moving. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, and hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and qualified African immigrants. Again, this is why I'm reaching out to the global African family. If you're serious about me bringing my Christian business to the African continent, then please help me get my ebook on that bestsellers list, so that way the Black world can take us serious. It doesn't matter how bad I want to get my Christian business up and running in Chicago. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I'm unable to do my God-given assignment, which is to build the best Black business within the United States of America. And that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, for credibility before we expand the business to the 10 African nations that I mentioned above. Again, for 34 years, I've been reaching out to Black Chicagoans, and they have rejected and overlooked my vision and plan to help improve the Black community or Black neighborhood. This is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm reaching out to our Black youth and our African youth. Black millennials and Generation Z. This business is for you all, after all. But I want to make sure that you work with me to help turn my ideas into a reality. I'm calling upon Black content creators and African content creators who have a large following. Please allow me to come on your platform to speak with your audience about my revised book and my film project. Again, this is not my burden alone. This is a shared burden that GRCAM members must fix within Black society, and we will take the lead. I don't want the brand and vision to die in America. I'm pushing my vision to the Black world. This is my contribution to Africa's rising. I'm encouraging all of my listeners, both domestic and globally, again, to please purchase my ebook and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicago, then you will automatically become a GRCAM member. And I go in detail every last Saturday of the month. I call it GRCAM Virtual Interactive Conference, where everybody that's on my friends list and in my social groups have an opportunity to speak with me live in real time during these sessions, the virtual interactive conference. But again, you're going to have to know how to use Zoom or StreamYard. And I ask that you exchange emails with me so that way I can email you everything that I do online, because I put it all out on the table. There's no scams whatsoever. Selling a book is not a scam. I run across a lot of small-minded individuals that tell me that kind of stuff. And those are the type of people I don't fool with. Because I wrote the vision and made it plain, and I'm standing on business. I'm standing on Black business. So, if you live in the United States of America, and if you agree with my vision and plan, then I would like to encourage you to join our film project team. I'm looking for legitimate Black filmmakers, African filmmakers, film directors, producers, actors, stage managers, professional fundraisers, technical directors, and marketers who can come to Chicago to work with me directly and shoot in this film once we raise the capital. That capital is $250,000. I'm reaching out to the 92%, which is the Black women that voted for Kamala Harris. Y'all raised $1 million for her. That's fine and dandy, but she didn't win. And she never, well, according to her record, she really didn't help the Black community in California. And so all I'm asking you to do is first read my story, so that way I don't have to waste time trying to explain to you everything what I'm trying to do when it's already in writing. Read my story. If you agree, then make yourself known to me. I'm also reaching out to the brothers. But again, the ball is in your court. I would say the Black grassroots and the global African family, because I can't do all this stuff by myself. It takes a team to make a dream work, ladies and gentlemen. This is how come every week I try to engage my audience. Join the grassroots community activist movement so that way we can build GRCAM Chicago together. Get it popping here in the city of Chicago so I can be released of my duties here in America and bring it over to the African continent. That's the only thing that's holding me back. Again, I'm not getting pushback from white America. I'm getting pushback from Black America. Unfortunate. because of that slave mentality, but that's what we're coming against. And that's why I was I'm talking about on the 28th, the fall of Black America. That's going to be one of the most important discussions that we're going to have this year. And I'm encouraging all my listeners to participate if you can. And if you want to, challenge me or debate me, send me your email address and let's make that happen. But you're going to have to send me your email address. That's all I'm saying. Um, Upcoming events. March 13th, we have guest speaker, prophetess at Fire Anna from Ghana. Saturday, March 21st, we have guest speaker Kaisha Taylor from Waukegan, Illinois. Although we don't have a physical building at this time, we are using this technology to broadcast what we're trying to do in Black Chicago and beyond. On this platform, we are genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connection with the global community. I'm looking for 5 people from my Facebook page, my Instagram page, my TikTok page, my LinkedIn page, and my X page, as well as people that's in my Facebook social groups and people in my LinkedIn social groups to come forth, get on camera, and let's discuss the topic of the month. If interested, please send me your email address to my to either of those social sites that I just named above, and I will email you specific instructions about getting on the panel. If you are unable to participate in our monthly virtual interactive conference on YouTube Live, then please listen to the replay. Leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast. And most of all, please share this audio podcast with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. And again, if you do not know how to use StreamYard or Zoom, then make arrangements with me so that I can teach you how to use both of them before you come on the show. Again, if you are a Black artist or an African artist, such as an author, poet, musician, or an entrepreneur, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that way you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then you're more than welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. This year, we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made. So help me God. That's all I'm trying to do. Because I don't want to be stuck or be doing this another 34 years. This is really a big turnoff, and I want to make sure none of my members under my leadership have to never endure this type of foolishness again. That's why my business is going to be membership based. I'm just saying. And we want to make Black empowerment films. So that way it gives our Black youth and African youth an opportunity to use their talents and skills. And through the business, I would be able to, give them a stipend so that way they can feed their families, to get them off the streets and out of gangs. That's how we help stop the genocide in American ghettos through Gakai of Chicago. And we want to make this business a model for other to be a model across the United States of America. Although in the book I did mention that I would like for it to be in at least 25 cities, but doggone it, it's been 34 years and I'm still on first base. And that's unacceptable, but this is spiritual warfare at its best. And again, the topic that we're going to be talking about on the 29th, sorry, on the 28th of this month is the fall of Black America. I don't want to see that at all. Um, it can be prevented. Black Chicagoans had 34 years to get it right. Now we got Trump in office and he's imposing these tariffs on African nations. I'd say the most. A lot of things are, and now we're in a war. You know, it might end up turning into World War III. So these are some real challenging times. We still got a little window left, and we still got 3 years to get this film project fully funded and made, ladies and gentlemen. Because once I believe we get that, once that happens, and I would say Black Chicagoans see this business materialize, mark my words, everybody's going to want to be on board then. But again, I do not operate like the next black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. Over here, we're raising the bar, meaning we're going to separate ourselves from the enemy within. That's con artists, pedophiles, degenerates, I would say urban terrorists, the worst of the worst. You know, again, we just want to separate ourselves from those persons. And I get a lot of negativity from my critics. They say that I'm being judgmental. I'm not being judgmental. I have standards, and I'm not going to associate myself with people that's off code. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GERCAM members. Again, I'm only responsible for GERCAM members. Those that's not a part of us, again, we're going to pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. Those that want to remain in a burning house, let them burn at this point in time. At this point in the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I'm just saying. So that's where we are at this point in the game. And again, so this year we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made so that we can get our story on the big screen in order to reach the Black world and let them know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people, Black Americans who identify as DAS, FM, that means descendants of American slaves / freedmen. This business is for them. And I'm going to have African immigrants that's going to work with me. If there's, if they want me to bring the business to the African continent, to step forward, help me get that book on that bestsellers list. And I would like for you all to be part of this film project. Those who work with me in this film project will go down in history with me and Sister Renee. I'm available Saturday, March 14th, Sunday, March 15th, through Tuesday, March 17th, Thursday, March 19th, through Saturday, March 21st, Sunday, March 22nd, and Monday, March 23rd, Wednesday, March 25th, through Friday, March 27th, Sunday, March 29th, through Tuesday, March 31st, all at 2 p.m. through 9 p.m. American Central Time. Please select which day is best for you, and we will take it from there. Please select which, yes, okay, I already said that. After the panel discussion, the topic, then we will open up the phone lines, either on Zoom or StreamYard for Q&A. The theme, the fall of Black America. America collapse is coming for Black people. Where? YouTube Live. When? Saturday, March 28th, time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Black women in Texas are disappointed that Jasmine Crockett lost the election and racial biases on social media. Our first topic: Black women in Texas are disappointed that Jasmine Crockett lost the election. Today, we're talking about why Jasmine Crockett lost the Texas Senate race. Jasmine Crockett's race for the U.S. Senate is over. As far as I'm concerned, it's her own fault, and let me explain to you why. The Democratic Senate primary race in Texas was influenced by Latino voters, a sought after group the Democrats are hoping to win back. Latino voters has been slowly shifting towards the right since 2024. This year's midterm election will be closely watched to see whether these voters who supported the Republicans 2 years ago can be persuaded back to the Democrats. State Representative James, just bear with me, y'all. Some of these names I ain't, I don't know how to pronounce. I do the best I can, but just Tarico, Talarico outperformed his Democratic rival, Representative Jasmine Crockett, by a wide margin. And while it's difficult to draw conclusions from a Democratic primary about how he might perform in a general election, the results showed Rico, a state representative with strength in some key areas. He got 60% of the vote. Crockett got 38% of the vote. From white voters, he got 54% of the vote. Crockett got 45% of the vote. To see the results of the Texas election from a TikToker by the name of Mr. T Drinker, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast and click on the link. Then scroll down to show and prove. On there, he displays the number by race. 36% of Latinos voted for Jasmine Crockett. The remainder, 60%, voted for Rico, when she's been the one promoting immigration. And when Latinos had the chance, they didn't vote for her. I mean, common sense would say, hey, she's pro-immigration. Let's vote for her. But they didn't. But they are begging Black Americans to come out and protest against ICE. Just saying. So that's the breakdown that they're referring to here. In El Paso, for example, Latinos make up more than 80% of the county. He won 62% of the vote. In Bexar County, which includes the predominantly Latino city of San Antonio, he received 57% of the vote. He had significant advantages in both times he entered the race, which allowed him to target Latino voters earlier in his campaign on social media and during sporting events. The Democratic primary highlighted the stark racial divisions in many areas of Texas, a diverse state really where Latino residents make up about 40% of the population. Mr. Tarico dominated in Austin and its suburbs with which have large numbers of white voters. Black voters favored Miss Crockett even more in urban neighborhoods and in East Texas, where many black Democrats reside. Miss Crockett narrowly won in some of the largest cities, including Dallas, Fort, Fort Worth, and Houston, in large part because of her overwhelming advantage among black voters. The result in Harris County, which include Houston, suggests a sharp racial divide. Miss Crockett won more than 86% of the vote in, in predominantly black districts, while Mr. Tarico took more than 75% in white districts. That trend continued in other predominantly Latino areas of the county, which, when you take these things into account, there are some lessons to be learned. The Democrats want the black vote. Jasmine Crockett spent the last 2 years telling us to accept illegal immigration, telling us what American workers won't do and who's going to pick the beans and rice if Americans won't do it. When Trump won the election in 2024, he started his mass deportation. It was Jasmine Crockett who was stumping hard for illegal immigration, and that we needed to defend them. Remember, this is just in the last couple of months. I found a video clip of Dave Rubin. He weighed in on it. Now, again, you can see that on my Medium transcript. I'm not going to play it, but I point to all those different videos out once I finish with this presentation. But I'm not going to actually play it. I'm just going to show you all where you can find it, and it's up to you if you want to listen to it, because I have some other stuff I need to do today. So I'm pressed for time, so that's the reason why. So she wasn't thinking about her political future. Dave Rubin reminded Latino voters what she said. To watch the video clip of Dave Rubin, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. She said, quote, "I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants, right? The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Am I lying? Raise your hands. We're done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation," unquote. Now she is reaping her own harvest. Jasmine Crockett does not understand the dire strain that our black farmers have been going through. We have black farmers across this country trying to farm, but these white supremacist financial elites are using terroristic tactics trying to terrorize black farmers off their own land. We covered that story a few years ago on this platform. She's sitting up here talking about what we won't do. We ain't really trying to farm like that. Well, tell that to the Black Farmers Association that's been talking about the money that they're owed. I bet she wouldn't not dare do that in front of a bunch of Midwest white farmers and say that sentence, that y'all ain't trying to be farmers in a room full of white farmers and expecting their votes. The very same people that she sat here telling us to support, they did not support her at all. She only got 30% of the Latino vote, and she was fighting for them big time. Now she's got to look for a new job. The very people that she was supporting, when it was time for them to show gratitude, they voted for the white man. On this platform, we have been talking about all of this for the longest. And notice nobody is trash talking now. We've been on point and standing on black business. There's no black and brown coalition. These other groups just want to piggyback off our struggle. The freeload is over. Jasmine Crockett was a spokesperson not for us, but for illegal immigrants. They've shown their gratitude by making sure that she's done in politics. Um, the Latino vote, the Latino community voted for a white man who has not spoken up for them at the federal level. This is a lesson for black Democrats, for the bought and paid for Negroes who told themselves that the white supremacist financial elites are going to take care of them. When they talk about the 15 to 25 million illegal immigrants that crossed the border under the Biden Harris administration, as soon as the Latino community had an opportunity to vote, they voted for the white man. Let this be a lesson to all the kissers out there. You endorse and support the Democrat Party illegal immigration strategy at your own risk because that's the plan. Their plan is for black Democrats to deliver the black vote for white Democrats without giving black Americans nothing. And at the end of the day, they're going to get voted out of office because their goal is to neutralize the black vote so that black Americans remain marginalized. They are empowering these other groups with resources so that our children can become a permanent underclass in America. That's what I keep trying to tell black Americans. 34 years I've been telling black Chicagoans. They sat up here and took me for a joke, and now my words is everything I'm saying is coming to pass. And it's a shame. It's a doggone shame. I don't want to sit up here and say, I told y'all so. It's already in the book. I wrote about that. But hey, it is what it is. Here on out, Black Americans have to demand economic tangibles in the form of an anti-Black hate crime bill, lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves, if they want our votes. This is why these politicians are allowing a bunch of illegal immigrants to flood the zone and be dumped in the black community to dilute the black votes. These black politicians need to stop supporting policies that are going to get them in trouble with black voters, period. At least speak out against this stuff and say publicly you can't support it. If you're going to lose, at least go out with dignity. They're primarying these black Democrats. They're going after the so-called incompetents. And the Democrats are primarying them before the midterms. This is a good thing. Understand something. People don't believe us when we tell them the truth. They believe what they see. These Democrat policies of displacing the black vote and replacing it with illegal immigrants, if that's going to be a disaster, look at what happened to Jasmine Crockett and Al Green, who were stumping nonstop for illegal immigration. They should have been on business for us in Dallas, Amarillo, Houston, and in Austin. Their money from us. Brother Al Green, Keisha, and Jasmine Crockett are not supposed to be fighting for their political careers. That's not supposed to be happening now. This is a wake-up call for black Democrats. What white Democrats are trying to do is get a new voter block, illegal immigrants, to fast track them to become U.S. citizens so that they can replace black voters. That's their ultimate goal. Jasmine Crockett was their sacrificial lamb. They want to tell DAS FM, descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, no reparations, no anti-black hate crime bill, no economic tangibles of any kind. Blacks in America as a collective must remain a permanent underclass. White supremacy now and forever. That's what they're saying. That's what they're testing the waters on. And the real problem is that the number actually support that she could have won if she was standing on black business. What they're discovering is that the boot kissers coalition is not as big as they thought it would be. The civil rights generation or baby boomers are fading away, and now the political elites must face Gen X, black millennials, and Generation Z. And that's who I'm reaching out to. I'm Generation X, but unfortunately, I'm unable to reach my Pacific generation because um, I'm gonna say they're Americanized. They have a narcissist type of attitude, so it's hard to reach them. You know, it is what it is. But Black millennials and Generation Z, that's why I'm trying to reach out to you all. After all, I mean, this is for you. That's why I'm trying to get this business popping so that way I can turn it over and bring it to the African continent. The Senate race has caused a divide in the state of Texas with Black Americans who are Democrats, white Americans who are Democrats, and Latino Americans who are Democrats. Black America, you have 2 whole weeks to do early voting. You procrastinated. That's part of the issue, being undisciplined. You knew the Republicans in Texas were going to pull dirty tricks, like the way they did by closing the polls at a certain time. So you can't really be mad at the Republicans when you had a whole 2 weeks for early voting. That's number one. Let me explain to you how Jasmine Crockett alienated Black voters. She prioritized immigration and not advocating for Black Americans. Even if the Latino community didn't show up for her, if she would have stood on, I'm going to say, Black business, then she would have won the race because there are 1 million Black people in Harrison County alone. If Black Americans would have came out in mass and voted for Jasmine Crockett, she would have won. But Jasmine Crockett alienated Black voters. If you are in a district where there is predominantly Black, then stand on business for Black people. I'm just saying for these Black politicians, because again, I'm not running for public office. I'm trying to build this business from the ground up, from the mud. That's all I'm trying to do. And it's going to be Black owned and membership owned. But like I say, it's that slave mentality that's hurting us the most. And if we don't confront that head on, that's going to be the downfall of Black America. That's why we're going to be talking about that on Saturday, March 28th, ladies and gentlemen. So please mark your calendar and try to participate if possible and help put me on blast. I don't need people sitting up here taking this for a joke because I don't have any kids. Our children are the ones that's going to end up suffering. Those of you that's parents. Even if you don't live in the Black ghettos, help get my book on that bestsellers list. You know what I'm saying? Put me on blast. Let everybody know what I'm trying to do. We need Black American candidates who will be like Ilhan Omar. She's standing on business for the Somali community. Gone are the days of this minority coalition talk. We don't want to hear that because every time you Talk about minority coalition. Black people get nothing out of the deal. It tells us that we have to help other groups get above us. If you want to win election, if you want the black vote, then turn off that minority coalition talk. You have to talk about black American issues, centering policies just for us that will benefit black Americans. Malcolm X explained to us about the white liberal. He said the white liberal is worse than the white conservative. As I reviewed all of these TikTok videos about Jasmine Crockett election, I noticed that a lot of these sisters are actually waking up about the Democrat Party. Both Democrats and Republicans have racist people in them. The more Black Americans separate ourselves by delineating from these other groups and focus on getting our house in order, just like the Asians. They don't worry about American politics. They don't worry about American wars. Asians are here to get the bag and send that money back to their homeland. That's what Asians are here to do. That's what GRCAM members will be focusing on, setting Gurkaya Chicago up so that we can replicate the business in 10 African nations. So help me God. But again, Jesus / Yahshua already gave me the vision and plan. It's not his fault. Some people, my critics, say I failed as a leader. And I tell them, God give us free will. Don't you know if it was up to me? I mean, I didn't expect to be doing this for 34 years. I thought, shucks, this business will be up and running, shoot, during the mid 90s, because I started this stuff back in 1991. And the reason I went online, because shucks, I mean, a lot of people in Chicago was telling me they wasn't interested. And I was like, good Lord. And the reason why, I mean, I can't blame people again, the drug epidemic, like the crack epidemic. I mean, it really messed our people up big time too. So it's difficult. And I have compassion for my brothers and sisters who live in the low income Black community, because that's where I came from. So I know what it's like. It's not a pretty picture. And yes, it's unfortunate. A lot of our Black middle class, they look down on people that lives in those areas, but it's not the kids' fault. And those who I'm trying to help, but I want to work with those Black parents, single Black mothers, single Black fathers that want more out of life, because over here we're not about running game. Not in my business. We want to help people we want to help Black families reach their life goals, try to make the community as safe as possible. I just hate that it has to take so doggone long. It's very frustrating. If some people say I should leave it alone, I mean, this, like I say, this is my God-given assignment. I didn't ask for this, but I'm just asking my Creator to reveal Himself, His power. That's what my film is going to be about. Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, is about my experience growing up in the inner cities, about me, about my I'm gonna say my extended family members, how they, they felt me as it was just horrible. The full the slave mentality is just horrible. And I'm coming against that through my business. And It's not easy, but like I say, somebody has to do it. And again, we want to create, when I say we, that's going to be GRCAM numbers. We're going to create the best Black business within the United States. And like I say, hopefully we can get it popping in other cities as well. But that's not my, hey, if it happens, it happens. If not, hey, at least I tried. But I want to go on here and get it popping over there on the African continent, and for us to do international trade. And I want to be able to work with Africans that want more out of life. Because I'm not trying to cower behind a computer, but this is where I'm at this point in time, because trying to get my, all I have is my revised book, my virtual store, my online groups, this platform, and my film project. My film project is my last attempt. And I believe that this film, and I don't want to do this film just to, do a film and it's a flop. That's not how I'm trying to go out. That's why I'm trying to reach out to our Black middle class professionals. I do want to say this too, that when that road cop pulls over, I say a Black American, that road cop do not care if you're a Black Christian or a Black Muslim. He doesn't care what social class you belong to. He doesn't care about your political affiliation. All this he's going to see is that Black skin, your melanated skin. And if you make one wrong move, then you're going to be unalive. That's reality here in America. This is why we're pushing for, over here, GRCAM, this is why we're pushing for an anti-Black hate crime bill. The whole road cops accountable. But again, I don't want to spend the rest of my life trying to get Black Americans to work with me if they don't want it. It is what it is. So this is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants. I'm saying, hey, look, work with me. So that way I can try to help, our youth, the Black youth that's in the low-income Black community or low-income Black neighborhoods here, specifically in Chicago. Once we get it popping here, then I want to turn the business over and bring it over to the African continent. But I want to make sure I can sustain myself in Africa. Because when I come to Africa, I'm not coming there to run, like to flee. I'm coming to Africa to bring economic tangibles in the forms of job creation for GRCAM members in South Africa. I'm going to apply for dual citizenship. I'm going to shoot my second film there. That's going to be called African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. That's going to be the sequel, but it's going to be made in South Africa. And we're going to get it popping there. And then we're going to expand East Africa, hit those countries over in East Africa, and then eventually go back towards West Africa. I want to make sure I get my foot on the African continent first and turn the business over. So that way I don't have to physically be there. I will have qualified managers to help me run the business without me technically having to be present. I just want to delegate. But again, I'm just letting people all know that we raising the bar. It's membership based. And, I would say our community grocery store, that's going to be public. But other things is going to be private. It is what it is, because we want to make sure that we don't just have everybody around us. I'm talking about melanated, because there's a lot of melanated people that's off code. Urban terrorists, they're melanated. You know what I'm saying? And so we want to separate ourselves. For me, I require that thumbprint to be placed in our database if you're going to be a full-fledged GRCAM member. I want you to be active. And I want you want to have a brick and mortar, meaning a physical building. So right now, I can't afford all of that stuff. And yeah, next month I'm gonna have to start paying on the business title again. I have to pay the city, state, and IRS. Been doing that since 2010. Doing that because I believe in our Black youth. I believe in the Black families too. That's how come I'm doing all of this. That's all. It is what it is. All right, let me get back to my presentation. We're not worried about these Black politicians are doing because a majority of them are bought and paid for. We have to select our representative from the Black grassroots, period. The Trump foreign policy right now is horrible, but with immigration being, he shut down that southern border. I'm really grateful for that because that's helping Black Americans get our house in order. We got less than 3 years to get this film project fully funded and made. I'm just saying, if I'm unable to do that, to raise the funds, then hey, it is what it is. At least I want the Black world to know I tried. And I'm not coming to Africa until we able to get this business popping here in America first. That's all I'm saying. So it is what it is. We don't, because of the Trump administration, now we don't have thousands of people flooding the zone on a daily basis. I saw what happened to my people during the Biden-Harris administration. I warned, like I say, I warned Black Chicagoans for 30 years about illegal immigration, and a majority, and this, I wrote it in the book. Read the book and you'll see. Because I said that the Latino community, they're gonna fight like hell for their people to become citizens, and rightfully so. But all this off-code behavior, here I am trying to build something productive and stuff 34 years, and still the business is not up and running. The book is barely selling. Items from my virtual store barely selling. What's up with that? No, I'm not. Some people are saying like I'm crying and I want people to feel sorry for me. I'm not. That's not my intention. My thing is, hell, if you ain't interested in what I'm saying, delete me off your friends list. That's all I'm saying. I want to connect with other like-minded people like me and Sister Renee. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't sit up here and just complain about the white man and the government. We're going to solve our problems at the grassroots level. First, we got to build Chicago. And if it takes me doing a film about my experience trying to get this thing popping, so be it. And again, I'm looking at all of this as just like God, he allowed Pharaoh, he hardened Pharaoh's heart when Moses was trying to get his people freed from Egypt. That was so that God would get all the credit and glory. Because again, I don't claim credit for the ideas in my book. I give it back to Jesus / Yahshua. He's the one that gave me the idea. I'm just trying to carry it out. I just wish he would bless me with the capital to make it happen. Again, it's for Black Chicagoans. It's actually for Black America. You know what I'm saying? So again, I warned Black Chicagoans for 30 years about the illegal immigration, and a majority of Black Chicagoans told me they're not interested. Others, took me as a joke. And now what I'm saying is coming to pass. Well, that first part about, the illegal immigration, that they're going to flood our community, and they're going to be fighting with us for resources. And they're going to end up within one generation, it won't be a Black community because of this off cold behavior. Lord have mercy on my racial group. Um, the 90s, we were in the era of warning. Today, we are in the era of consequences, ladies and gentlemen. It's one thing for them to come over here, but it's another thing for them to come over here and act hostile towards the people who built this nation, descendants of American slaves. If you look at Latin American politics, you don't see Black people much. They bring that same attitude up here, the anti Black sentiment. All these other groups are on code with each other, except for Black people because of this unchecked slave mentality within Black society. GCAM members are going to change that once and for all. So help me God. Now let's review what happened to Jasmine Crockett, a Black woman carrying a disproportionate civic burden. Black women have always played a major role in organizing and mobilizing the Black community, as we have seen in the voter turnout in Texas. A large group of Latinos and white people voted for the other candidate, and Black people, of course, showed up for Jasmine, right? And Jasmine has been really loud about supporting undocumented immigrants. But we see that advocacy does not always translate into support. This is a very important lesson for Black Americans to learn. Every group will look out for their people and their interests first. Over here, we are M1, meaning we are melanated first before any political party. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans. I'm saying that we're independent, we're not affiliated with anyone, and we're nonpartisans. I want to be sure that all GCAM members will benefit, and the community safety will be our top priority over anything else. Black people have advocated for other disadvantaged groups from around the globe because we understood the hurt and pain these other groups have experienced. But when it's time for these other groups to um, show their support for us, at the polls, I mean, that's not no big deal. We trying to get people in office that, trying to look out for our best interests, and they won't show up at the polls for us. For example, look at which group voted for Trump in 2024. Until these other groups start mobilizing with Black Americans, then we will continue to mind our own Black business, period. Black Americans are seeing in real time why we have to separate from the enemy within and from these other groups. It shows us that these other groups are selfish. Even Jasmine Crockett saw that all of her stumping for immigration, and at the end of the day, the same people that she advocated for voted against her. She was betrayed by the Latino community, not the Black community. A lot of Black politicians are going to learn the hard way. They offer Black Americans economic tangibles, or we are going to vote them out of office. These other groups want proximity to whiteness. I think that separation is more important than delineation. I mean, spending our money back into the Black community or Black neighborhood, separating ourselves from their education and doing business with each other, purposely finding Black banks or Black credit unions, Black doctors, Black lawyers, the whole 9 yards, purposely supporting our community. That's why I need my listeners to purposely support me by getting my book on that bestsellers list and reading my story for yourself. Work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait until I'm dead. Because I'm not running for public office. We have to learn how to keep our money within our community and circulate that money in our community the way that Dr. Claude Anderson and so many others have told us to do when we would be in a better situation than we are now. I'm so glad that Black women are starting to wake up about the Democrat Party. They did the same thing to Stacey Abrams and Kamala Harris. And now with Jasmine Crockett, white America is not really for real change because they don't want to give up that white privilege. That's all that is. So now y'all can see the purpose for voting blue regardless of who is blue for the greater good. Black Americans are slowly starting to understand that we live in a system based on race. Democrats may be in trouble in November with black people in Texas. In Crockett, Chicago, again, we want to, for Black Americans who identify as descendants of American slaves, for them to heal from that slave mentality. For African immigrants who join us, for them to heal from that colonized mindset. In this business, we're going to learn how to respect each other's culture. We're going to learn how to trust each other and learn how to do business with one another. So that way we can replicate the business on the African continent. I want descendants of American slaves and Black Native South Africans to work together. That's what I want to do once I bring it over to the African continent, starting in South Africa. So work with me, global African family. Help me get my book on that bestsellers list. Help with this film project. Put me on blast. Again, I'm not doing this for my health. I'm not just sitting up here running off at the mouth. I'm trying to move this thing to the next level. Again, God give us free will. It doesn't matter how many videos I make. And I'm not even interested in writing more books. I only wrote one. That's my revised book. If I was just, some of my critics say, oh, Emmanuel, you're just trying to, you don't care about people in the inner cities. You're just trying to make money. Well, if that's the case, I would have written many books. You know what I'm saying? But doggone, I'm having a hard time trying to sell this book. And I got a virtual store. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's just, this is why, I'm not, and my bank, Chase Bank, I bank with them. They trying their best to encourage me to take out a business loan. And I'm not setting myself up, to be in debt. So Black America, you're going to have to step up and, we're going to have to get this film project fully funded and made. And then I'm willing to, take out, a business loan and things like that. But right now, I'm not even able to hire anyone because I'm on a shoestring budget. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, racial bias on social media. In the far far right wing white supremacist media, they had to admit that racism and anti black racism is real and that it's all right to keep doing it. Have y'all ever heard of a dude by the name of, his name is Nick Fuentes? He is known as a representative of neo Nazism in America. Social media sites allowed him to talk about black people like a dog. That's a doggone shame. I'm just saying. But there is a double standard. People like him can talk down, use racial slurs about any group except Jewish people. People like him are allowed to practice racism against black people all day long. No issue, no consequences. Well, Brad Cooper, formerly of the Daily Wire, has found himself in hot water. A fellow named Tyler Overy. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the names. I'm just doing the best I can, but it is what it is. Um, he's one of these guys who goes around doing documentaries and stories. He was the person who exposed the scams and fraud in the Somali community when they're with their daycare centers in Minnesota, exposing the cat-eating Haitian immigrants. The world loved Nick, Shirley, and Taylor Avery for doing that. So he decided to do a story about Curious Joel, a Jewish community. We discussed that story a few years ago on this platform about an upscale area in New York City. Basically, it's a large Jewish enclave where they're living off of American taxpayer dollars. Well, he decided to do a story about it and he found himself in deep trouble. Jewish people have a strong lobbyist group known as ADL, Anti Defamation League. It is a leading global nonprofit organization founded in 1913 to combat anti-Semitism, bigotry, and extremism. They fight hate through advocacy, education, and research, including tracking incidents via annual audits to secure justice and fair treatment for the Jewish community. He, we can create our own version of ADL, but first we have to be on code. That's the main thing that's holding us back as Black Americans, big time. But now that Taylor has released multiple videos looking into a welfare department, Jewish community in New York City, all of a sudden the internet is turning against him and labeling him as anti-Semitic. This is hypocritical, in my opinion, and we need to talk about this. A few months ago, he was getting canceled by the online Indian community after attending the Indian poop throwing festival. I'm sorry, that is disgusting, big time. But hey, we have to talk about that. Then, okay, they can attack Black people online. Nobody in white society is going to say a word. The Jewish community won't explain how it's spending $94 million in relief funds. School officials refuse to address how the system of less than 500 students is spending nearly $94 million in federal pandemic aid. According to his documentary, the Curious Joel Village Union Free School District received over $95,000 per student, nearly 40 times the national average and more than double what New York public schools spend on special education students. If that was the case in Minnesota, the entire non-black people on the internet would be losing their minds. If we're black, it's a free for all attack on you. The ADL, Anti Defamation League, are claiming that Tyler is anti Semitic and that he is going out of his way to target American Jews. I disagree. If you look at his channel, he exposed everybody where fraud is concerned. He interviewed the most racist people in America, the most corrupt churches in America. Like, I'm sorry, Tyler is targeting everyone. He has been doing this for years. There are YouTubers with millions of subscribers. By the way, Tyler um, Ovaries has millions of subscribers. Brad Cooper has millions of subscribers on social media. So we're talking about people with millions of followers. And yeah, now they're crying because they are being canceled. And by the way, Tyler Overy spoke out about his Patreon account being shut down. He has over 9 million followers. The YouTube has promoted him in the algorithm. YouTube shares his stuff just like they do with all the white YouTubers. Now they suppress and bury black content creators like me and others, going on 2 decades. So the war against us and the war to support white supremacy is in full swing. If YouTube is not boosting you every single day, you cannot get those type of numbers alone. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share it with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast and for joining us on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. I need you all to I need full hands on deck about our film project so that way we can move Gracam beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people who identify as descendants of American slaves that are trapped in American ghettos. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our crowdfunding pages, which are on our GoFundMe page, our Buy Me a Coffee page, or our PayPal Give and Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate to our PayPal Give and Fund page because you can use it as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99, or the softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you for listening to our YouTube Live or the replay. If you're new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues and African issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. See you on the next episode. Now, before we close it out, I do want to show my listeners, maybe this is your first time on here, how to find my information. So just bear with me as I pull that up, as I share my screen. So we're going to use this one. So I'm encouraging everyone. This is my Medium page right here. I got the the cursor here at the top. So that's manuel.medium.com. And so hit that right there, please. Um, we need to have more followers on here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm not on here half stepping. I'm doing the best that I can to recruit brave and smart people to join GRCAM, so that way we can take the lead to solve our problems. So I need more than this number here. Please make yourself known. Click on there if you want to be part of my business. So right here, this is what I just read, the actual transcript. You click on it, and you scroll down, like I was saying. That's going to be at the bottom. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not on here playing. I take all this stuff serious because I care about our Black youth. I care about my fellow Black Americans. I care about our African youth and our African immigrants. Over here, we don't do that diaspora wars. We about, like I say, I want to be able to promote Black empowerment films. Okay, so see right here where it says show and prove. This is the video that I would like people to watch for March 28th. So I'm calling it the fall of Black America, but they call it America Collapse is Coming for Black People. And so make sure that you click on this link here to watch that, take good notes, and then if you want to be on the panel, I only want 5 people. Make yourself known to me. I'm giving everybody an opportunity that's on all the social media sites that I'm on to participate. Again, if you don't know how to use StreamYard or Zoom, make arrangements with me and I would teach you. So that way you can participate, or so you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you want to share a 30-minute sermon if you have a small ministry. Okay? All right, and here's my source that I got about CNN, the Texas primary. So, you can check that out. All right. And these are the identity politics, the different TikTok talkers. So check all that out. Okay. And this is, I would like to click on it. I don't know if they're going to play it, but if not, Mr. T Drinker, click on that. It's going to show you the map, or it's going to show you, the breakdown of the election. So I'm going to come back to that. All of this, okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so keep scrolling down. And this is talking about, about that Nick Shirley, the stuff. This is our second topic, so you can check that out on here. Let's see what else. This is the guy, Tyler. He has a hard name to pronounce, but I'm doing the best that I can. Ovary. So he's being called out. He's calling out fraud. And so, the Jewish community, their people are, holding him accountable and all that stuff. So, and so this is some more of his, saying that he was canceled. So you can check that out there. This is a nice little documentary I recommend for you all to check out. It's called All These Sons, and that's a Chicago documentary. And like I say, I want us to do our own. And so, it's nice that they made a documentary, but when I looked into, their nonprofit, it's not Black owned. At least over here, this is going to be Black owned. But again, Lord have mercy, 34 years. So see, this is why a lot of Black business they go out of business, because Black people are not patronizing them. So I'm just saying, that's the doggone shame. It's very disappointing. But mark my words, like I say, once this business, well, I want to focus on the film. That film is going to help put us on the map. That's going to help put me in a better position financially so I can hire qualified Black middle class professional to be on my advisory board or resource team. Because I don't want to. I'm not going to sit up here and do all this stuff by myself. I'm not ashamed to ask for help, but I want to make sure that I have competent, qualified people that's going to help me run this thing. Bottom line. Not trying to take my vision and dreams to my grave. I'm trying to turn it into a reality. So all this other stuff, this is coming from the diaspora, the African Diaspora News Channel. Shout out to Phil Scott. Even though, I keep trying to reach out to the brother, and he's not returning my emails and stuff, but that's okay. It's all right. But this is he's saying the same stuff that I like, and that's the stuff that I stand on too. So we're trying to do the same thing. Again, my main sources about that Zoom call: 44,000 Black women raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris on a Zoom call within 3 hours. If Black women, the 92%, will use that same energy to help us raise, that $250,000 for our film project, the budget, that would be nice. And then they would see we can make an impact in our community. And again, this is where we get it. The 2024 results: Black women, the 72%, and Black men, 77%. So yes, we want Black men too. The brothers, come on over here to help us raise the capital for this film project. Over here, we don't do that gender divide. We want Black women and Black men. And again, African immigrants from 10 African nations on board. Also, if you're Afro, I would say Brazilian, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino, you're welcome. Also, if you're a non-Black sympathizer, you're welcome to be a part of us, not as groups, but as individuals. And you will have to let us know publicly, where do you stand as it pertains to lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. Are you for or against? That's all I want to know. If you're against, you cannot be a part of my business. If you're for it, you're going to have to pay us a reparations fee. I'm just saying. Because I don't operate like that next Black man. You know what I'm saying? I have my own style and way of doing things. I'm not going to put on no front for nobody. And that's real. That's why a lot of Black Americans don't like me. And, like a lot of my family members, they try to impose their views on me about, oh, Emmanuel, you should get a quote unquote, leave that Black stuff alone, get a real job. Anybody tell me that garbage, we will remain strangers for life. If I'm like this with my own family member, flesh and blood, how you think I'm going to be with strangers? Because I'm not going to let that pollute my spirit. I don't hang out with negative people. And that's real. I'm doing it like I said. This business should be up and running. I'm trying to build a multi-million-dollar business because that's what this business is going to be. It's going to be both a nonprofit sector and a for-profit sector. I'm not going to go into all that detail because that's what I'm going to talk about on the 28th. But yeah, so check out all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And right here, my credibility, my revised book. I stand on that 24/7. You know what I'm saying? It's not even up for debate. If you disagree with my vision and plan, we ain't got nothing to talk about. My advice to you is to leave me off your friends list. Don't come to no events with my name on it, and that's real. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Here's our GoFundMe page where you can donate. But before you donate, read my book first, so that way you'll know what you're getting yourself involved with. Again, everything that's written in this book is what we're going to carry out to the fullest. So help me God. This is our PayPal Giving Fund page. But like I said, I want people to read the story first, and then, if you live here in America, then make arrangements to come on this platform, and let's encourage others to get involved. That's why I created this platform. That's why I'm online. I want this stuff to move fast. Not another 34 years. My buy me a coffee page. And this is my virtual store. This is where you can buy items, everything is right there. Make it convenient for you. All right. So let me see if I can pull up that guy, I guess Mr. Tea Drinker. And then, that's going to be it. I have some other stuff I need to take care of today. All righty, it's coming. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, here it is. Let's see. I'm not going to play it. I just want to click on it. Hopefully they'll let me open it up, but okay. So I don't know. I tried to play it, and gave me a little. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I had to stop. But all right. Well, at least I tried, you know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for listening. Peace and blessings. That's going to conclude our show